welcome to Arthur Eden Oval for a blockbuster in the Northern New South Wales NPL Final Series. It's elimination football, win or go home, as Lambton Jaffas play host to Maitland FC in front of what's a huge and passionate crowd here at Arthur Eden on Sunday afternoon in the sun. Both of these clubs have had to fight tooth and nail to be here this afternoon for much of the year, sitting outside the top five. The second half of the season surges have carried them into September football. The Jaffas are red hot right now, unbeaten in 6 and with 5 wins in that run, including a statement 4-2 victory over today's opponents just last weekend. Coach David Tenchevsky says belief and momentum are the fuel for his side, and he's proud of the way a rebuilding squad has found its feet on the way home. But Maitland know how to scrap. Wednesday night's roller coaster 2-2 draw with Bell Swan sealed their spot in the top 5 by just the skin of their teeth. Their talisman Braden Crowley showed nerves of steel with 2 penalties, taking him even further clear in the Golden Boot race, and he'll be a danger to watch again today. When these two clash, it's always tight. There's split results across the season, and when it's knockout football, past form counts for very little. I'm Chris McPherson. Alongside me to drill into the action today is the one and only Harry Scobie. Harry, how do you see this one shaping? Who are going to be the key players on each side to watch?
Thanks for having me, Chris. I'm really excited for this one today. Obviously, didn't get much football fixed yesterday due to the hail and rain at Jack McLaughlin. So, yeah, I think from a Maitland perspective, I think Braden Crowley will be one to watch. I think he's been good all season, obviously 22 goals to his name. And then on the other hand, I've actually got Jimmy Oates from the Jaffas. He's led like a real leader these last few weeks, really stepped up, played multiple positions, and really just stepped up as a leader in this Jaffas side.
Well, you talk about Braden Crowley. That's obviously a big job for the Jaffas today. If they can mute Braden Crowley, then they can get the job done. You feel that's a long way going towards that result. He's got 22 out of 41 goals for Maitland this year, more than half their goals. Lambton on the other side of that, a spread of goal scorers, so a very different piece. So how do you mute a player like Braden Crowley?
It's an interesting one. I think with the experience of the Jaffas backline, I feel like there's no better opposition to have him marked. I think in the air he's really strong, getting in behind as well. You've got players like Daniel McFarlane who can drop deep and allow Crowley to go in behind. So I feel like just be aware of his movement off the ball as well, some of his diagonal runs, and that threat that he poses there as well. So certainly one to watch today.
You talk about those diagonal runs and some of those balls coming forward if players can get in behind. We've been out there having a look at the surface earlier, and understandably, with all of the weather we've had this season and what a season it's been in terms of weather, it's a bit chopped up out there. So do you expect that teams will try and look to go a little bit aerial in terms of getting forward from their back line into the midfield and onto attack?
I'd assume so, yeah. I feel like, maybe even the first 5-10 minutes try and play out from the back, and if the strategy and plan's not working, obviously then go for the long ball. But I do expect probably both teams to use the long ball on multiple occasions today.
Well, it's a strength for Lambton. Maitland have got the ability to do it, but they like to play out from the back. So I think, as you say, we're going to see them try that first. And then if that doesn't work, plan B might be to revert to that, or they might try and go around the width and then switch the point of attack. But let's have a look at how the two teams do line up today. Starting with the visitors, Maitland FC. In goals is Taylor Pate. We've got number 2 is Connor Butcher. Number 3, Jordan Jackson. Number 6, who will play on the edge of midfield, Sean Pratt. 7, that man you talked about before, the former Central Coast United player, Daniel McFarlane. Number 11, Tay Power O'Toole. 14, the man who will start up front, the former A-League star in Braden Crowley. 15, he'll play on the right edge of attack will be Isaac Collins. 16, Jordan Lennon. 14, Braden Barutsky. And 99, the box-to-box, end-to-end man that is Aidan Rafferty. For the Jaffas, the home side here today, they'll be led out momentarily by this man. Number 1, Ben Kennedy. Number 3 is Pat Bond. Number 4, the midfield maestro you talked about in Jimmy Oates. Number 6, Joey Langlois. Number 10 is Archie Finn. He'll lead the attack. 11, Lockie Griffiths will be dangerous out wide. 15, Sam Donnell, and the Milky Bar kid. He's got plenty of run in him, we know that. Number 17, Riley McNaughton, who I think will be one of those men to execute those diagonal balls through the air that we're talking about. Number 23, Tom Wallett. Number 25, one of 2 mid-season signings coming from Valentine Young, Jordan Goo, who's been an absolute find since he's come to the Jaffas. And number 44, the veteran, who, if he plays too many more seasons, is going to catch up to his jersey number, the 40-year-old man at the back, Nikolai Topor-Stanley, as we see the two teams coming out. The atmosphere is on edge here. You can feel the tension a little bit, Harry. It's exciting. These two sides played last week, and they didn't get to play here for Lambton's Old Boys Day, so this is almost the repeat of that for the Jaffas home fans.
It certainly is, and like you mentioned there, Chris, it had all the hype to build a huge Old Boys Day here, obviously because finals was on the line. But now, obviously, we're here for an elimination final. Teams are stacked and, really keen for this one in front of what is a healthy crowd here at Arthur Eden.
Certainly is a good Sunday afternoon crowd. And where would you rather be? The best place to be is here pitchside. The next best is, of course, at home, live and free on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel. And I tell you what, there's some football still to come on Northern New South Wales Football YouTube this year. We've got all of the final series for the men's. We've got the full final series for the women's. We've got the relegation and promotion playoffs. We're then going to have the Jets playing against the Northern New South Wales All-Stars. And then if that's not enough, we've got the Regional Super League finals coming to you live from Scully Park in Tamworth in early October. Football never stops, and it's all live and free on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel. I can't wait to bring heaps more of it to you. We're really looking forward to this as we see the two captains in the 2 former A-League players, Ben Kennedy and Crowley, wearing the armbands today, having the conversation with the referees. We're getting set here. We'll take a quick look at how the two benches line up as well. Harry, if you want to take us through the Maitland bench and then the Lambton one.
Yeah, so for Maitland, number 4, Aswin Gurung. Number 5, Charles Cox. Number 13, Ben Grant. Number 19, Ethan Vidler. Number 30, Matthew Small. Number 35, Farrell Trainer. Number 98, Jaden Borgia. And they're obviously coached by Adam Hughes. For the Jaffas, number 12 returning to the bench, Oscar Krakenthorpe. Number 14, Riley Taylor. Number 18, Miles Gaffney. Number 19, Carter Smith. Number 21, the backup keeper, Jack Pandell. And number 24, Matthew Cahill. They're obviously coached by David Tancheski, who's, like you said, Chris, mentions there's a lot of belief in this side at the minute.
Certainly does. We're set here, Lambton in their traditional gold strip, going from the left to right of your screen. Maitland in the white jerseys, the black shorts and the black socks, going from right to left. We're set for elimination finals football. It is do or die. We'll know much more in 90 minutes. Will it be one of these teams progressing? Who will be heading to Silly Sunday or Mad Monday as the theme fits? A lot to be determined on this pitch. Under the sun here at Arthur Eden, and here we go. Straight away going forward, Langlois trying to use the ball. Turned over, lobbed forward. Maitland just prodding it straight away. Both teams looking a little edgy on first touches. And he's happy to take his time, waits for Crowley just to commit that half step forward. Kennedy, a booming long clearance. The edge of his 18-yard box. It comes forward off the head of Jackson. There's some interesting scenes at the end of this game last week, Harry, so that, there's no love lost between these two teams. It might be intriguing to see who can control the emotion the better. Yeah,
exactly. Like you mentioned, it was a very fiery, even second half to last week's clash at Spears Point, and obviously Maitland hugely out for revenge, especially considering they were 2-0 up, Chris. I think that's what might hurt the most, that they'll put themselves in a really good position and let the Jaffas work their way back into it.
Opportunity here, McFarlane going forward, but just skews it off the leg, and it'll be a corner. Opportunity straight away. It's something that the Jaffas, calling a few of their games early in the season, goals were a challenge for them, but they've scored 23 in their last 5 games. They've absolutely flicked the switch here, and we saw that with the comeback, as you said, last week. Have a look at this set piece now. Maitland, the first chance to draw blood here. Rafferty with the corner. Lots of white jerseys surrounding the tall timber and Ben Kennedy. Curled into the front post, little back heel, just picked off the line. Milky Bar Kid saves the day. Good last line defending there from Denellen. Another corner. Maitland will certainly continue to try and turn the pressure up here. Rafferty coming in again. Everyone's sitting deeper in the white jerseys this time, more to the back post. Curls it in front, headed away, not completely dealt with. Interesting, a little bit of hesitation there from Griffiths in attacking that ball. Then we see some collisions, and the second collision is going to see Archie Finn draw the ire of the referee. Archie Finn dropping shoulders.
Yeah, and that's what he's, most known for. I watch him a lot, and he's not afraid to get into the argy-bargy side of things off the ball.
Needs to be cautious. Doesn't want to find himself in trouble early and have a dead ball opportunity here. About 30 metres out from goal, in line with the western edge of the 18-yard box. Rafferty over the ball. Everyone queued up in an orderly fashion on the edge of the 18-yard box. He lofts it in dangerously. Beats one. Yeah! And the near post, and it's a goal. Maitland score early. Easy as you like on the second opportunity there. Headed back across, and Collins just nods it home. Kennedy stranded. And Maitland draw first blood here, Harry. Less than 3 minutes gone.
They certainly do, Chris. They've had all the ball down this end, it must be admitted, in these opening few minutes. And Jaffas just given away probably a silly free kick outside the box there, and Maitland have made them punish there.
It was well lofted. It just got in behind Topple Stanley, and then it sort of pinballed around a little bit, and Collins was just sitting there. He's composed. He could have quite easily rushed it, but just finished it into that space between the post and the keeper, who was trying to respond, but just didn't have the ability to get there. It's interesting, Lambton's showing some real intent to be physical early, seeing every opportunity. They're trying to get body onto the opponent. Archie Finn, as I said, is going to need to be cautious here. He doesn't want to find himself drawing the eye of the referee. McNaughton in a collision there as well with Crowley. Topple Stanley. We talked about a want from Lambton to go aerial, and there it is. Goo trying to throw himself in there. Fighting hard. Waller gets the head to it, but it goes across the sideline. We'll have a throw in for Maitland.
It's a huge start there from Adam Hughes' side. And I think, Chris, to be fair, the Jaff had just given away, about 3 set pieces there in the opening few minutes, and ultimately they were made to pay.
Certainly were. Plenty of time for a response, though. Goo outlet. No one actually gets the ball, but Rafferty comes squeezing through. Strong defence from Waller in the end. So Lambton just a bit more intent in terms of throwing the bodies in. Finn. Again, just coming into contact. Second foul he's given away. It almost feels like there's been a bit of a directive to be as physical as they possibly can and try the referees, I guess, interpretations.
It could be. Could be certainly planned. I know Archie Finn's been in and out of the squad in terms of starting positions. You know, Jaffas have so many options in attack, and he does add that physical presence, doesn't he? He's already threw himself into a few early tackles.
Forward, Maitland now again trying to create an opportunity. He certainly has. We'll come back to that conversation in a moment. Driven into the box. Denellen gets underneath it, just skies it towards the corner out in our box. Tobble Stanley out muscles and gets it forward. Chipped on again then by Oates and then seen across the sideline by Jordan Jackson. He was one of the men at the heart of the heat at the end of the second half last week. Now Waller decides to go backwards. The experience of Topple Stanley. Now on to Bond. Waller there again, gets the return pass. Can't control it though, and it goes across the sideline. Just the defensive side of halfway for Maitland to take a throw. That's these first sort of 6 minutes or so, Harry. Maitland just looking a little more composed, I feel.
Yeah, I'd have to tend to agree. They've the Jaffas have barely had a sniff, especially in those opening few minutes. The game sort of grew these last 2 minutes after that goal, but that start from Maitland really fast, and it was all played in Jaffas half as well.
Certainly was. Here we go. Oates trying to get out in front. Can't do so. Collins there to save it. Pushing it across for a corner.
Drive it, make sure we've got
Been key at both ends. Hard to believe it's such a warm afternoon. It almost feels like we're in spring, Harry. I mistakenly said September football before. We are, of course, still in the middle of August, but finals football feels like September, and the weather's certainly helping with that. This one lofted in from Denellen. Headed away for now. Waller takes a drive, and what a response. Tom Waller from distance equals the score. 6.5 minutes gone. We've got 2 goals, and we're tied up at 1-1. That was some strike. It was an absolute shin breaker. Didn't get more than about a foot off the ground.
It is some strike there from Tom Waller. Some way to respond as well. Sam Denellen with that ball, which was cleared on the first attempt, and Tommy Waller just positioning himself outside the 18, and what a strike it was. And the Jaffas with the quick response. We know they were down 2-0 last week, Chris, and worked their way back to 2-2 at half-time. They've shown that they can come from behind.
Certainly have. Waller, that's a strike. I'm not sure how he threaded that through the pack, but it was good enough for his 5th goal of the season and a key equaliser. You wouldn't know that these two teams are regarded as defensive powerhouses. The way we've started here. Going to come back and an offside flag against Braden Crowley. Not sure how an offside flag ends up getting taken on the attacking side of halfway, but Maitland Norton getting every inch.
Number 23, Tommy Waller.
Yeah, the confirmation of the Tom Waller goal. Archie Finn spinning through the pack, trying some acrobatic almost moves from the big unit up front. The press coming here, nice footwork, brings it out. Now they try to drive it down the line, just blocked in the end by Langlois. All of a sudden they look a different side, Lambton, now that they've gone forward and had a good run and got that first goal.
Just about to say that, Chris. I was going to say they've definitely lifted their intensity ever since that goal. You know, when you've got experienced heads like Topper Stanley, Riley McNaughton, and like I mentioned earlier, Jimmy Oates, seems to be a lot of confidence in there after that goal.
Certainly is. Archie Finn fighting tooth and nail there. He's getting back some of the treatment that he likes to dish out. No love lost between him and the centre-backs from Maitland. It'll be a long throw coming here into the box, will it, from Sam Denellen. And the lead up to the first goal. Could he be the lead up to the second here? Headed away for the time being. Now they track back and sit back to that man McNaughton. A strapped right knee. He feeds it through. Almost pinpoint, but just picked off well in the end by Power O'Toole. Denellen trying to outfox the assistant referee. They're asking for the throw-in.
You can tell, especially in that midfield, it's so fiery. You can just see already that both teams are well and truly up for this one. They know what's at stake, and tell you what, it's been some start.
Certainly has. We know both these sides have had to keep winning at the back end of the season to make sure they are here today, so they know what this sudden death football feel is. We know, and only as recently as Wednesday night, Maitland got to the point where they needed to make sure that they took a point to get here today. Otherwise, it would have been the men in blue Newcastle Olympic who were waiting for the call up to finals football. Denellen, the Milky Bar kid, strikes this one towards the back post. Crowd goes up, the ball doesn't get cleared. A little bit of friendly fire. Rafferty does well in the end to get it away. Goo sitting back in the pocket. Thinks about trying to emulate Tom Waller from even further out. Now he's made Topple Stanley put on the afterburners to track this down.
Second phase!
Skewed off the outside of the boot from Pratt. Maitland all of a sudden battening down the hatches as Lambton keep coming here. Now Waller the goal scorer. Rafferty's been the best so far, I have to say, for Maitland, I was going to say, and Topple Stanley just decided he was going to make sure that he wasn't running any further and mowed him down from behind and goes into the book with a yellow card. Of course, a reminder that the card counts from the regular season do reset, as I understand it, Harry, and so 2 yellow cards during the final series will result in a suspension. So players who've got 1 now, like Topple Stanley, will have to be on the best behaviour for the remainder of the final series. Lambton now ranging down. Griffiths cross it in. Collision now with Langlois. Lambton appealing for a foul. Ball falls for Goo. Driven away downfield by Pratt. Topple Stanley now decides to go backwards. That's not quite the connection he wanted. Crowley putting pressure on Kennedy. Gets it away, Waller. It's interesting, Harry, both sides just finding ways to put themselves under pressure at times here.
Yeah, they are. I'm just seeing this midfield batter in particular. I've been really impressed with.
Nice ball. Bond will take a strike. Finds the back of Archie Finn. It would have been on target if Finn was out of the way.
Just going to let this play out.
Ball goes forward. Beats everyone. Even the leap of Jimmy Oates is acrobatic and aerial as he can be.
Yeah, just looking at that midfield battle early, Chris, I'm seeing a lot of, we look at Sean Pratt, Joey Langlois, even McFarlane. There's so many experienced heads in the midfield for both sides today, and it's been such a fiery start in the middle. I know Maitland last week, interested to see how they play out from the back. I know they'd like to utilise that on when they could, and looks like they will go to the air.
Norman Norton. That itself will be an interesting battle. I'm really looking at these, the 2 battles for me is McNaughton doing most of the work picking up Braden Crowley, and then McFarlane up against Langlois. Those 2 battles I think are going to go a long way towards determining the balance of this game. Speaking of Crowley, there it is. McNaughton gets the ball and heads it forward. Rafferty took it away. Goo coming multiple times, hustling against it. Ball down the line, McNaughton tracks back.
He's won so many headers early on, McNaughton. Such a vital player at the back for the Jaffas. Such a cool, calm head, and I'm sure he's learned a lot since Nikolai Topple Stanley's been at the Jaffas as well. Maybe levelled up his game as well.
They are one of the best centre-back pairings in this league. They're probably up there with the likes of, when we have a look at Harrison and Wowries for Edgeworth. Just in terms of their consistency, their experience, their composure. Even when the Jaffas were having those barren runs with goal early in the season, that backline was a big part of why they were still within touching distance of the top 5. Now they work here, though. Maitland, Power O'Toole, presses it back across to Jackson. Now across. Barutsky pushing up. Ball down the line. Topple Stanley out there pushing and pressuring hard on Collins, the opening goal scorer of the fixture. Denellen back in the pocket here against McFarlane. A little nudge. Referee letting both sides play. Plenty of contact. Lennon working. Finn coming back and clattering in. Now they loft it forward, looking for Crowley. Goo tracking back. Not exactly textbook. I think he used the middle of his back in the end there, Harry.
Worked out in the end.
Well, that's it. Doesn't matter if it's pretty, it's a lot more about being effective. Now Rafferty thought about winding up and taking a strike. He heads across field, or he's out-muscled by Bond. It falls friendly for McFarlane. Now Crowley switches it wide. They look to loft it back in towards the back post. Kennedy's there, he's up to it, and the physical presence it is, Ben Kennedy takes it cleanly.
Noticing at times here for Maitland as well with Barutsky, Jackson and Lennon sometimes playing that back three when they're going in attack and allowing the likes of Tay Power, O'Toole and the other right fullback to bomb on forward.
It's interesting how they do play there, Maitland. When you have a look at it, it's almost, as you say, it's almost like they're structured a back five, but those two players that drop back to the outside are generally actually they're wingers. So they've actually got these two wingers that sit outside the midfield and, you know, off the width of Crowley. This one is cleared away. And then all of a sudden they're dropping right back. So they're playing sort of, I mean, if they're playing in the middle of the field, you call it box to box.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
It's certainly interesting. You see.
Mistake here. Goo into the box. What can he do? Can he find a target? The only target he finds in the end is Pate. He's down to it and takes it cleanly. Tyler Pate, an interesting story, Harry. He was at Maitland last year, then went further afield looking for other opportunity at Broadmeadow. And mid-season decided to return after some changes. Now that's trying to work out what's happened here. Too long with the ball. The goalkeeper.
I believe so, yeah.
First time I've seen that this year. We'll see a new law coming in.
And I'm assuming this will be an indirect free kick, possibly.
I believe that's the case. Braden Crowley just asking the question. Been asked to move along a couple of times. I think it's 8 seconds.
Just seen Riley McNaughton standing over the ball here. For those who remember, he actually scored his first free kick a couple of weeks ago against Valentine in that big 7-0 win. He'll be eager to get the right contact over this one.
Certainly will. Oates there with him.
Make sure we're charging it.
Crowley trying to creep as close as he can.
Come on.
What can McNaughton do here? Could this be a costly mistake from Pate? We'll wait and see. 7.5 minutes gone here at Arthur Eden Elimination Final. Played across, off the deflection on the wall. It'll be a corner. McNaughton, he might be asking whether they moved early. The referee's just pointed to the corner and Denellen will go across to take another set piece. But again, it's something that goalkeepers have got to really be aware of now in an effort to keep the game moving and the ball in play and minimise those delaying tactics. I don't think that's necessarily what was happening there, but the rule doesn't differentiate. Denellen lofts this one towards the back post. A little too big, and Free's going to say it crossed the byline and we'll have a goal kick. Emotions certainly rising up on both sides. Ball driven wide, looking for Crowley. McNaughton gets in there. Out muscles Sobel Stanley. Those long, rangy legs just reach around his opponent there in Collins. And all of a sudden, Oates ranging down the left flank. Thinks about crossing Fate. Nice work, nice movement now. Plays it along the ground. Probably some better options that may have presented there. Jordan Goo just absolutely beaten for that ball, and then a little bit of frustration. A little nudge on the back of the Maitland player who quickly finds his way to ground, Harry, and earns the free kick. Maitland not wasting any time here. McNaughton skies that.
No, I like to play fast football, Maitland, and I'm really liking this battle early on between McNaughton and Crowley. I think that's one to watch for the rest of the match. I think, you know, both really good, strong in the air, so yeah, really keen to see how that battle plays out for the rest of this one.
Sloppy challenge, another yellow card for Lambton. Oates goes into the book. Not even 20 minutes gone, 2 yellow cards. Some very heavy challenges early. Some that have been allowed to go on, some that haven't. Rafferty lofts this one into the 18-yard box. Ellen came flying out of there. I'm not quite sure what happened. Volleyed, cleared away partially, then driven along the ground, and Ben Kennedy waves everyone away. Topple Stanley, not quite sure what he's arguing here. Maybe he's still trying to argue the yellow card against Oates. Get to see a referee change their mind on those, though, Harry.
That's good. Well done.
Now Norton working it out.
Well done. Defend it. Good, Jacko.
A bit of push and shove, a little bit of niggle happening here between Lennon and Griffiths. Motions are certainly high. Topple Stanley drives long. Griffiths tries to get the outside of Lennon. They're holding on to each other. Lennon comes out, takes the ball away. They come off the arm of Danella. No play on, says the referee. Now Langlois lofts it into the back post. 2 hands in the back. That's pretty clear cut. I'll tell you what, that's a brave move from a man who just got a yellow card.
Certainly is. You don't want to be risking those little things at this time of the game, especially so early on in the half.
I can only imagine how David Tenchevsky's heart rate would go if he saw the referee reach towards his pocket at that point. Even if it was just just his shorts or scratch his leg. Ball comes long. Danellen heads it back. Goo tries to get up, but gives away plenty of height and loses out to Pratt. Now into the box, opportunity for Finn. Racing out to it, snatched off Finn's bootlaces by Taylor Pate. Lennon on it now, goes long area, looking for Crowley. I think it's going to beat him across the sideline. Well, it didn't beat him across the sideline, but he ended up taking it across with him. Quite impressed, Harry. It's a good turnout here at Arthur Eden today for some finals football. And as I said, if you're not tuned in at home on the couch, where else would you rather be? Temperature in the early to mid-20s and a couple of goals to get us started.
Yeah, certainly been the ideal start from a neutral perspective. And like you mentioned, Chris, I think that weather's playing a huge part in the crowd today. It's an absolutely fantastic turnout. And we've been treated to some good football early on.
The offside flag goes up against Crowley. Yeah, certainly we thought the final series was going to get underway with a bang yesterday. The reserve grade final series got underway. The first grade not so much after a little impromptu 10-minute hailstorm saw Jack McLaughlin unplayable for the first grade, so that'll be caught up tomorrow night. You better catch that live and free, the qualifying final, 8 p.m. Scheduled for Jack McLaughlin over at the moment. Just a little grab there. That's silly stuff. And the foul goes against Lambton. But yeah, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, that game to be caught up. As I said, scheduled for Jack McLaughlin, but if it's not deemed playable, they will be able to move that to late Macquarie, Harry. So looking forward to that. I think you'll be potentially part of the call for that one.
Yeah, really excited.
Opportunity here. We might come back to that in a second. All of a sudden, Maitland in, Riley McNaughton, last line of defence. He appeared from nowhere to hit the centre-back and just managed to push that across the line. It looked like Ben Kennedy was in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, really excited. Just touching back on earlier about that match tomorrow night. Western, the only team to have beat Edgeworth on 2 occasions this season. So, 3 occasions, sorry. So, certainly one to keep an eye on tomorrow night.
Yeah, beaten them twice in the league. And then, of course, that State Cup semi-final as Maitland prod this opportunity. Goo hacks it away. Power O'Toole trying to win it out, but he's turned it over. Opposite numbering Griffiths. Griffiths charging forward. A heavy touch there, though, might give Maitland the impetus, and it does. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Edgeworth, such a powerhouse. They had a bit of a stuttering finish to the season, but 3 losses from 3 attempts. 2 in the league, as we said, and 1 up against Western in that State Cup semi-final, which saw Western go through to the round of 32 on a trip to Heidelberg. This one's pushed forward and just well wide of the goal. It'll be watched across the line. Certainly going to be interesting. The Monday night football under lights. We'll add some more excitement and drama.
It will be, especially considering, you know, the brand of football that both teams play. Really attractive, being two teams that have been one to watch this season. Like you mentioned, Edgeworth sort of had a bit of a slip-off towards his back end of the season, but still well and truly and with a chance. And I think for their sake, they'd be hoping they can play it at home tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if it can be Jack McLaughlin. It's a wonderful facility there. We're looking forward to it. We're ready to go yesterday, Harry, and all of a sudden the weather gods had different ideas, but looking forward to it. Can Edgeworth get that opportunity to get some revenge? The leading attack in the league in Western against the tightest defence in the league in Edgeworth will be an interesting clash. Lambton here trying to find a second goal. Crossed into the box, opportunity. It's taken away from Taylor Pate's gloves almost by Lennon then. I think Pate had that. Lennon decided to back himself in and across. Broken up opportunity here. Goo will take a strike over the crossbar. Spun away and sliced away from the target as well. They're not afraid to chance their hand, the Jaffas, when the ball sits up outside the area.
They're certainly not, especially getting a bit of inspiration of what Tommy Waller did in the early stages of this one. Been really impressed with Jordan Goo since he's arrived at the Jaffas. Obviously, a mid-season recruit who's sort of slotted and cemented his place into the starting 11 week in, week out, and really made a difference in that midfield. We know the Jaffas have plenty of options when it comes to the midfield, but he's been one that's really caught my eye since he's caught Arthur Eden home.
It's been a meteoric rise. I mean, at the start of the season, he was coming off the bench for Valentine. Change of coach there, as we know, and a few things that happened behind the scenes. He's then taken an opportunity to come over here to a side who, you know, are now playing finals football when his former club they're up at Singleton yesterday in the promotion relegation playoffs, and a 0-0 draw for them. So they'll be fighting for their survival in the second leg next week. Of course, the other promotion relegation playoff today was West Wallsend up against Toronto Awaba. A Western Lake Macquarie derby, if you will.
Go crowds, Freddie, come on, up, second phase.
Set piece here, Denellen at the corner. Lofts it up towards the box, into the pack, headed away. Not completely dealt with. Waller's there again. Could he make it two? No, he can't. I'll tell you what, he would have been full of confidence coming towards that. Goo pushes it wide to Denellen, the corner taker, and they push forward again, the Jaffas.
To the ball.
And in yellow, looking to double their tally. That one's not going to threaten the goal, so it just trickles through and forward.
Ready, get it. Ready, search for it.
Working it around now, Maitland, trying to find a way through. That's probably not it.
I think the surface may have had an effect on that one, but it's interesting to see that Maitland are still trying to play out from the back. We know last week they, you know, tried to play out for the opening 20 minutes and find it quite difficult due to the Jaffas press. And with the surface today, I'm expecting them to prod it forward on when they can and find Crowley, but they're still trying to work the Jaffas around, move them off the ball.
It's not quite working out for them as of yet, but we'll continue to watch and wait to see.
Jaffas have looked quite dangerous from corners, Chris. Sammy Denellen putting it into an area that's proved dangerous, and we know if nothing happens in the box, who's sitting outside the edge, it's that man, Tommy Waller. Just in case there's any rebounds or any scraps to follow in.
Certainly is. He'll sit deep and wait for it. Again to the back post. Topple Stanley gets up to it, picked off the line by Maitland, not dumb. Bond gets up, ball still there. Langlois, Oates. Ball ends up in the back of the net, but we're going to have a foul given now. There's push and shove. No surprises, Archie Finn's in the middle of it. Archie Finn and Taylor Pate having some words. Teammates trying to get between them. Referee getting kept busy.
Keep him busy, all right. That was very teasing cross there from Sammy Denellen, and from there it was just pinball and big scrap in the box there. And obviously from our position, it's quite hard to see what actually happened, but I think it was a push on Taylor Pate that the referees blowed up for.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's just having a further conversation with Archie Finn. Archie Finn trying to head towards Taylor Pate. That's not going to help the situation. Didn't look like a lot came out of it, but just a lot of bodies colliding. And as you know, as the listeners and viewers will know, contact uninitiated by, but into the goalkeeper is going to always get that broken up at that point. It's hard not to in those packed situations as Langlois tries to put this into row 6 of the crowd. Barrow Tool with the throw. Goes back to Lennon. And Lennon, again, that unpredictable bounce, a little tough. And Ellen will take the throw just over halfway. Goes forward to Finn, who's in between two defenders. Lennon gets up to it. Bond, the header, Goo. Now Pratt. Crowley, a nice little push wide for Collins, the opening goal scorer, but there's a little too much angle on the ball.
So many key matchups across the park, Chris. I'm just watching Geordie Lennon up against Archie Finn. That's been a good battle to watch so far, and so many opposition numbers that are creating key battles in this one. So you see now Jaffas have a throw in.
Throw in now from Denellen. Now back with Oates playing back to Topple Stanley. Topple Stanley just managed to pick it over Rafferty. Back there, just lays it back. Lofted into the box, but Pate takes it easily. Brunsky, we haven't seen a lot of him. Gets the ball out. It's a return pass.
The Jaffas are doing really well to not let Maitland play out. I'm noticing, most of the scrap is falling in Jaffas' favour, and they're controlling the ball really well through the middle when they are able to win it back and just dictate possession.
I certainly feel like they got the better of the control of the possession, even if they're not having more of the ball. That's a nice piece there from Power O'Toole. They push it forward, and this is the challenge that Maitland can have. Because they've got those players in Power O'Toole and Collins and the like pushing back around the outside of their defensive line. When they do then go forward, Braden Crowley can often be on his own. A lot of work to do against numbers, so as we see here.
Jimmy Oates needs to be very careful with his tackles there. Another silly one.
Now driven forward, here we go. Crowley sniffing in behind, opportunity. Topple Stanley gets in the way. He manages to retain possession. Strike taken over the crossbar. Rafferty, it was the right idea. Just watching Braden Crowley, he's walking away a little gingerly. That'll be some concern for Maitland fans. Holding his back. Hopefully nothing too major for the captain.
Yeah, and that's just another example there of how quick Maitland like to play. A free kick quickly lofted forward, and tell you what, if that was more in front of Crowley, he was onto that one, had a one-on-one with Ben Kennedy, but great tracking back from Nikolai Topple Stanley there.
Just the soft surface just held the ball up a little bit. It had to run on a bit, as you say. Ben Kennedy would have been captain, El Captain. Good strong work there from Jordan Jackson getting forward, and all of a sudden now, look at the numbers. Push forward for Collins, but Denellen calm as you like. Comes back, Kennedy sends it long. Finn gets it, plays it out nicely in front of Goo. That's well controlled. Goo not quite as well directed. The youngster just misdirecting that pass. Now lofted through, falls nicely for Collins, brings it down with the shoulder. Little back heel for Rafferty. Topple Stanley manages to play it into the legs of Rafferty, and it'll be a goal kick.
Just seeing Daniel McFarlane in these last few minutes really dictating play. I think Maitland have looked good through the middle, and obviously they've got the wide runners out wide of Collins, and especially this left side. They've loved to utilise this left side early on, and McFarlane's the orchestra of that with his vision and almost over the top there. Just another great crucial tackle by Nikolai Topple Stanley.
Defensive stood up tall at moments on the last line of defence. Oates gets up and gets that. Finn chips it forward. I'm not sure who it was for because there's no one else in a yellow jersey in front of him. Just trying to keep it going forward. Jackson, Pratt, back to Jackson. Bond gets up for it, headed forward. Griffiths, Finn fighting. Managed to redirect it. A little bobble off the hand of Pate, but he takes it nonetheless. I feel it's cooled half a degree since that little fracas at the goal mouth before.
Yeah, I think teams just trying to not sort each other out, but sort of just slowing down for the rest of this half. And like you mentioned, Chris, it was a very fiery start to the game, and that sort of energy slowed down a bit in these last 10 minutes.
Certainly has. We now head into the last 10 minutes of the first half. All tied up at 1 goal here. 1 goal all here. The elimination final at Arthur Eden Oval. Live and free on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel. Of course, as soon as this game finishes, you can tune into the first leg of that relegation playoff semi-final between Toronto Walla and West Wallsend. The women's regular season wrapping up at the moment as well. They'll head into finals next week, and then it's full tilt races to the post. Oates in a strong collision there. Maitland wanting something more out of it. It'll be a goal kick. Riley McNaughton giving some feedback to the Maitland dugout. We have hearts on sleeves at the moment, Harry. A lot of emotion out there.
There certainly is, and especially considering the way this game started. I don't think either team will want to concede one before the break. That'll be a huge talking point.
Yellow card going as McNaughton here. That's interesting. Crowley looked like he initiated contact. The referee saying use the boot, maybe.
Cowley's last line there, he's in. Yeah, he's in last line. Their free kick. How's it their free kick?
So there we go. The yellow card against McNaughton, but the first contact against Crowley is going to draw the free kick.
It's been a good battle to watch so far. And
I think the referee's absolutely nailed that. Sorry, Harry. Crowley initiated the contact, took them to ground. McNaughton's made contact, though, with the boot afterwards, and that's what the yellow card's for. So well done to the referee here. It was a tangle. It would have been hard to judge on the run from a distance, but he's absolutely nailed that.
Certainly is tricky for the referee in that position when you got the ball floating over the top and two players going at it.
Top ball Stanley. You can get the best of the others' fatigue late in this half and maybe go to the break with an advantage. Butchard working down that right side. Waller drives it long. Rutsky pushes it back, and Kennedy's just going to pick this one up inside the byline and take his time. I don't want to take too long with it, though.
No, he certainly won't. I think, there's still a bit of time left for either side to find that crucial goal. But like you mentioned earlier, Chris, I think your point was spot on how this game the energy sort of died down a little bit to what it was in the opening 15 to 20, because certainly a very energetic start from both teams, and see what happens from here.
Certainly well, let's see what's happening here. Jaffas pushing forward, ball trying to be threaded through. Shot taken from distance, skewed off the outside of the right. Joey Langlois would like to have that over again. It's certainly interesting. I think if either side can just find a little 60 to 90 second surge here, they might be able to catch the other side unawares. A touch. Just need a surge, because as you say, both sides just settling back into their third gear rhythm, if you will. McNaughton is a man that doesn't know anything about third gear. He's either stationary or 100% Riley McNaughton. Lambton with the throw. Waller will take it. I was going to say just on the defensive side of halfway. The referee's telling him he's got to go another 5 or 10 metres back. So Waller happy to tick down some time here. And towards the last 6 minutes of regulation time here at Arthur Eden Oval in the elimination semi-final. Northern New South Wales NPL men's first grade competition. Earlier today we saw Western bow out in the reserve grade fixture where Broadmeadow will win us 2 goals to 0. They will head on to play Cooks Hill as Sam Denellen brings this down, controls it with the head. Back to Oates. Oates working. Goo. Back to Oates. Jimmy Oates, the linchpin here at the moment. Denellen crosses it into the box, just headed away for the time being by Jackson. Bond and Waller, a little bit of miscommunication almost there, but it turns out okay in the end. Topple Stanley's on the ball now, returns it to Bond. Prods it wide to Waller. Waller with a no-look back over the head. Bond racing through, he goes to ground, half appeals for a foul, but the referee waves it away. Now Maitland will see it away. We've got Jimmy Oates down on the right-hand side. Goo takes a strike, does he? No, he pulls back, I'm not sure. Waller lofts it into the box for Finn. Referee pulls it up. Sean Pratt not very happy about it. Maitland dugout not happy about it, but the referee's pulled us up nonetheless, and nice and easy. I'll have a chance to grab a quick breath as we head into the final 5 minutes of this first half, and it looks like we're going to have a change potentially. That's not a good sign. Oates will likely be the man coming off and replaced by the super sub in Matt Cale.
Yeah, certainly not a good sign for Jimmy Oates. It's been on the ground for a minute or so now, and huge blow for the Jaffas if he is to be ruled out for the remainder of this one. And it's that man you were talking about earlier, Matty Cahill, warming up here. He's provided a bit of spark coming off the bench in some games this season. A couple of assists to his name last week. Grabbed the goal off the bench against Cooks Hill, which looked like the winner. He'll certainly be adding to, use his speed to full effect if he is to come on.
Be interesting. We'll see what comes of it. Obviously added some stoppage time here in the first half as well. And just a reminder, if we are level at the end of 90 minutes, Harry, a bit of extra time.
Yeah,
beside this one, and then penalties after that.
Be very interested to see what time either side utilise their bench, especially if this game is bound for extra time.
It's going to be the interesting piece here, right? This is a rotation used for David Tenchevsky if he makes a change here. So depending on what the injury is, I'm sure there'll be a piece of his mind that would have considered, can we get Oates to half time? But that's not going to be the case because Cahill's here ready to go on, and Oates comes off. He's got that right knee heavily strapped, and looks like that's what he's struggling with. There's the confirmation of the change. Cahill on, Coates off.
So it looks like Lockie Griffiths will shift to the left and Cahill out here on the right.
Substitution for your Lambton Jaffas coming on the pitch, number 24, Max Cahill. Coming off the pitch, number 4, Jimmy Oates.
Back underway here. Just under 2 minutes lost there, so we'll see if we pick that up in stoppage time. Not a lot of stoppages really outside of the goals and a couple of set pieces. A lot of ball in play. It's been a fairly up-tempo game in this first half here in this elimination final. Throw in comes from Butchard. Pratt working under pressure. Lennon. Drive it forward now from Borutsky, looking for Crowley. Topple Stanley. Fox's Crowley, and they go down the line to Waller. What was that no-look turn? Throw in now for the Jaffas. 43 minutes gone on the venue clock. Waller goes the long throw. Looking for Finn, but Borutsky wins out. Topple Stanley. Thought about loading up, goes crossfield. Now they go back to Denellen. He'll go down and wide to Cahill. A little feint. If he can reel this in, he's going to have some space. He couldn't quite get there. It was a good idea. Just didn't quite manage to reel it in and get there.
I think it might have touched a Maitland player on the way through as well, but certainly some good signs of intent from Cahill early on.
Here he is again. Gets past the first. Prods it into the box. Bond with a strike. Off the crossbar where the Kookaburra sleeps. The Jaffas hit the lead. What a strike from distance. And all of a sudden, in the shadows of half-time, Lambton on their home deck lead 2-1.
Well, he only scores screamers, Pat Bond. Another one to his name there. What a strike. We had a perfect view here as well, Chris. just before the break. Not what Maitland would have liked, but the Jaffas hit the lead. Some strike there from Pat Bond.
His second goal of the season, Pat Bond. What a strike it was, as you say. I don't think any keeper's picking that out. It rattled the crossbar, got the underside right in that top corner. And what a goal it was to extend the lead. I said to you, Harry, I thought that someone would just have that little thrust and parry to take the lead and capitalise it. Here it is, 2-1, but still time to go. We saw Lambton get back quickly with a response. Now, what can Maitland do? Lambton trying to turn up the pressure. Cahill. And there's going to be a card. High boot and contact from Power O'Toole. Not a lot in it. I don't think there's a lot of intent in it, but a yellow card nonetheless.
Jacko, set it up. 30 seconds, come on.
Hopefully nothing serious as well here for Matty Cahill. We wouldn't want another loss for the Jaffas side.
It's a little bit of high contact, and I'm sure Lambton will just maybe a bit of blood in the corner of the mouth. He just got clipped on the way through.
A minimum of 2 minutes of added time is on the clock. 2 minutes.
You know what, it's been a half of football, 3 goals, 2 to the home side. 1 to the away side. It was Isaac Collins who opened the scoring early on here. Inside the first few minutes, Lambton quick to respond through a long-range effort to Tom Waller. That most recent one, an absolute screamer. 2 goals from range. Lambton 3 really fantastically worked goals, all in all. Very fitting of the occasion of an elimination final.
Yeah, the quality of all these goals have been top-notch. In particular, both the Jaffa strikes, but as well that free kick from Maitland was really well worked. Obviously, they opened the scoring, and then the Jaffas with 2 to reply, but it's been a really good first half.
Certainly has. 45 minutes minimum to come to you. See what, Matt Cahill getting some treatment of the walking wounded. He's barely been on there. All of a sudden, having to get patched up and repaired. Like Topple Stanley just having a little bit of talking tactics here with Sam Denellen. Laying down the law to Sam Denellen there.
That's what it looks like. He's looking.
And now, here we go. Now it's a bit more consultative. He's just. You reckon the chat is just put it on my head, Sammy, and I'll finish it off. Topple's been in some good goal scoring form in recent weeks, like the Jaffas. He's got a couple of goals to his name at the back end of the season.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 in 2, if I'm right. Yeah, something that we didn't see a lot at the start of the season. Didn't get his name on the score sheet, but I think you're right, Chris. I think Denellen will be looking to pick him out here.
He's going to charge forward from the back of the pack. Watch him go here. Topple Stanley letting a job on him. Lofts it towards that back post. Topple Stanley trying to close Pate. Punches it away towards the sideline, and we obviously work pretty well with interpreting the NTS sign language school there. Norton's going to go for the long throw. Cale's calling for it at the back. He's just deep of the penalty spot. Finn on the penalty spot. Topple Stanley at the front. That's where they go to. But Pratt's up to it. Reads it. Waller thinks about winding up and trying to get another long ranger. McNaughton in for Topple Stanley. Headed away. Rutsky does a good job there. Now Denellen heading it forward. And stoppage time in stoppage time, so this could be anything. Rafferty getting free. Good tracking back, trying to shut him down. What can he do here? Hayden Gage Rafferty does well, cuts back, beats 2. Turns again, he's turning him inside out. Cahill working, he gets around him. Pops it across, headed away by Bond. Air swing by Butchard. Could have been dangerous if he connected there. And then driven long, Lockie Griffiths.
Chance there for Maitland. It was good play down the left-hand side, and like you mentioned, Chris, certainly promising signs.
Well, here's Cahill getting up against Power O'Toole. McNaughton will try and drive that to Katara. Headed down by Jackson. Falls in favour of Griffiths. Maitland. They've got to tighten up here. Lambton looking for a third. Lockie Griffiths tries almost from a different postcode to put one in the back of the net.
Just trying to join in on the trend of the long-range strikes.
Topple Stanley not really happy with that. Topol scores from a similar spot in just over the road there.
Exactly.
I remember that one, although the one that Griffiths just hit got about 3 times higher than Topol's ever did.
Yeah, one that's never going to be forgotten, that strike from Topper against Perth Glory.
No, certainly will not. I think if you ask Topper about it now, it was from inside his own 18-yard box as Cahill pushes forward, pushed across the line. Must be trickling towards half-time now. Looking more and more likely that the Jaffas will go to the break with the lead. It's been a seesawing to and fro first half here at Arthur Eden. Archie Finn working hard in the area. Jackson drives it across the sideline for a throw in again in Jaffas' favour. They continue to turn the screws. Could they find a third goal before half-time? And you feel it'd be the first of the nails in the coffin for Maitland if it was. Denellen chips it in. Butchard does enough just to see it away. Waller around on the edge of the 18-yard box. Flicks it back in again. Comes to ground. Spilling about. Jackson. McFarlane. The contact on Jackson was a foul, and that will be half-time. And the Jaffas, they're a little slow out of the gates, but they've picked up where they left off last week. The momentum and confidence are now written on this first half, and you sense
That's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good. yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
An action-packed first half. Plenty to come, hopefully, here in the second.
Yeah, the most perfect first 45 from a neutral perspective. Some really well-worked goals as well. And like you mentioned, it's all on the line in the second half. 45 minutes to go here. Interesting to see how both sides shape up for this second half. Been really impressed with the Jaffas especially. Some really well-worked goals, Chris. And on the other hand, Maitland are not down and out yet. We've had some promising signs, and wonder what that halftime message was from Adam Hughes, but they got 45 minutes to, I guess, revive their season. Doesn't look like any changes at the break from what I can see. So both sides sticking with the same side as the first 45. Obviously, Chris saw Matty Cahill come on for Jimmy Oates.
Progress. Now back underway here. Goal scorers in the first half. It was all open almost before you could even react. Thanks to Isaac Collins, a header at the near post. Quick response with long distance shot from Tom Waller. That was a grass cutter. That's going to be a caution from the referee. Barutsky just cleaning up Finn there.
Yeah, there's been some similar challenges like that in the first half, and Archie Finn this time in the wars.
Since Archie Finn been on the other side of a couple of those early on and got some cautions in the first half. He's back up. He's giving the referee some feedback, but interesting to see what comes of that, if there's any further interaction between those two. Finn won't take it back with Sepp, we know that. Topple Stanley now looking at what the target options are. Goo trying to present wide. Drives it into the box looking for Finn, heads it on. Butchard gets up for it, it's cleared away in the end by McFarlane. McFarlane a little quiet in the first half, I thought, Harry. He's one of the key players here. He's been really impactful for Maitland since he signed with them this season.
Yeah, I thought he didn't have a bad first half. I feel like he's still got more to offer Chris, especially if he is to be part of this comeback, I guess you could say, for Maitland. He'd be the integral part. So, yeah, he's definitely got more to offer, but I think as well the service for Braden Crowley. I don't think Crowley's had the service he'd probably be after. That may be due to the tight marking from both McNaughton and Topper Stanley, but he'll be looking to get more back into the game in this second half.
He certainly will. Archie Finn under plenty of attention there from Jackson. It looks like they're going to give as good as they get, Maitland here. Rafferty pokes it forward, McNaughton heads it long. Finn's going to come across at a rate of knots, but Lennon gets there first. He pushes it into the midfield. There's McFarlane. Now that's a good ball. Waller just picks the pocket and steals it away from Crowley. If Waller doesn't get that, Crowley's in on goal.
Yeah, we spoke about that connection just seconds ago, Chris, from McFarlane to Crowley, and almost on that occasion there, threading it through. Probably maybe signs of what's to come for this Maitland side in the second half.
They're looking to create. As I said, when you have a look at it, Crowley 22 of 41 goals this year for the Magpies. The next best scorer is McFarlane with 7. And you go back to a handful of players on 2s and 1s. So the two of those responsible for almost 75% of the goals as Denellen prods this into the box. Waller coming and arriving on the spot and then tapped home. Archie Finn, the flag stays down to the dismay of Maitland. But Finn has gone from villain to hero and doubles the lead for the Jaffas. 3 minutes gone in the second half. They lead 3 goals to 1 in the elimination final.
It's that man, Archie Finn. He's been prodding around all day into challenges, backing out of challenges. He gets his goal on this occasion, Tommy Waller's initial strike, and I think it's just, fell into the path of Finn, and he's just got a touch and he's turned it goal bound, and seems very happy with that one, Finn. He's deserved that. And the Jaffas extend their lead even further now to the early stage of this second half.
It's a huge goal. We talked about how momentous the first goal of this second half would be, and Archie Finn, I believe that's his first goal of the season for Archie Finn. Surprisingly. Just having a look. We'll double check that.
I do believe he scored in the Australian Cup. But yeah, that's interesting stat first in the competition here in the NPL.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to recall. Again, Harry, you would watch a little more of these two sides than I do, but I can't recall him scoring certainly in any of the matches of the round. And as I said, my stats are saying that that's the case. So he's a very good foil for the side, but it's been the likes of some of the other players that have been prolific in front of goal in recent weeks. Your Jimmy Oates, your Riley Taylors, Lockie Griffiths, and even Matt Cahill has become a impact from the bench in recent times. So good to see him get on the score sheet. Finn, and he'll be full of confidence now. Tries to sell that collision as a foul. Again, the referee all over it. Assistant referee right on the spot as well. That time, though, it goes against Lambton in the end. We talked about it just before the break, Harry, how important this fourth goal of the game would be. Can you see Maitland clawing this back? I know we've got quite a long way to go, still 40 minutes.
I think they'd have to get one, really soon. I think it's not the start to the second half they were after. I was expecting Maitland to come out with a bit more intent, but wouldn't rule them out just yet. They just need to find that second one and go on from there. But
they really need to find what is going to be the key to unlocking one Braden Crowley.
Yeah, exactly. He's been very isolated in this game. They've tried to utilise that long ball, but Thomas Stanley and McNaughton have been first to everything and will continue to do so. But yeah, certainly if you can give him a bit more space, and he could be elusive.
Be interesting to watch, but we'll wait and see what they can do. They're going backwards at the moment. Lennon on the ball. Plays it wide for Power O'Toole. Denellen almost takes it away. He's opposite number in Collins, though. Comes off with it. And then it's just prodded forward, and Riley McNaughton will drive it back the other way. He'll go long. Finn trying to get forward. Jackson gets ahead to it. Denellen gets a hip to it. Just trying to work out what's going on there. Have we had a jersey change over on the far side?
Yeah, I think Cahill's gone to that number 2.
Cahill. So, stolen Matt Buten's jersey. It's been sitting in the cupboard for that long that he thought he'd roll it out. I'd suggest what's happened is he got a bit of blood on the jersey in the first half when he was split.
Yeah.
Matt Buten, our fellow commentator, the injured Lambton Jaffas star, out of action. I think he's over in Vietnam at the moment. Harry, living the high life during the season.
Yeah, he loves the holiday Buttes.
I think he's over there celebrating a friend's impending wedding, so have a Bucks party. And probably wouldn't have been able to happen if he was fit, and he would have been out here playing today. So some silver linings to injury every now and then, but he'll probably claim the goal if Matty Cahill puts one in today. Cahill now working on it. That's a little bit of a fan. No, the referee says play on. It looked theatrical from here, but we're a long way away.
Yeah, certainly looked like there should be question marks over a foul there, but like you mentioned, Chris, we are furthest away.
Yeah, I think the two officials both within about 6 metres and we're about 60 metres, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Yeah, and the wonderful thing about this time of year, not only are we getting the best of the footballers, we get the best of the officials as well. Doing a good job. Officials have done a great job across the men's and women's NPL all season as Lambton look to loft this into the box. Goo, a little bit of a skim touch. Plays it back to Tom Waller. He scored from 30 before. Lofts it into the box this time. Finn thinking about getting a second. It slices away and it'll be a corner for the Jaffas. You feel they could almost put a nail in the coffin here. Maitland looking to go to their changes. As when Gurung looks like he's the man being called upon. Maitland's reserves yesterday, Harry. Led when that storm hit 3-1 against Cooks Hill as the ball goes up. Beats nearly everyone, spills out and just prodded forward by Rafferty. Goo. Little feint, beats one. Little cut back, takes it away from a second. McNaughton pushes it wide for Denellen. Denellen crosses it out of the shadows. He didn't quite hit that as he'd like. Now Butchard working hard and will just prod it across the sideline. So might have a couple of changes coming. Charlie Cox getting ready as well. Or is it just Cox? Wait and see. Run called back as well, so we'll see what they come with. Waller in the meantime. Is he going to wind up for the long throw? Topple Stanley pulls back in the pocket and asks for it. Turns it to Waller. Rafferty gets possession and gets away after losing his footing initially, but then Waller comes again and takes it from him. Topple Stanley puts it through the legs and draws a foul.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a lacklustre start from the Maitland side. I was expecting them to come out with a bit more fire and intent, and 3-1 down. It's the Jaffas that have had most of the ball, Chris.
Yeah, I wonder how the fact of having to play Wednesday night in the lead up to this, that game where they needed a point to get here today, that short turnaround after a long season where there's been a lot of catch-up football played by a lot of teams, can't be easy. Topple Stanley again laying down the directions for the set piece. Langlois gets underneath it, backspin on it, sits it back for Topple Stanley, but he's out-muscled. Lennon gets there first. Bond slides it back for Waller. Waller across to Nellen. He's going to go all the way back to McNaughton. Feeds it through Archie Finn, although he's pirouetting in the ballet. Missed everything. Talapate deciding that he wants to play out despite the fact that Bond's right there. Finn pushing forward now. Lennon will drive it along the ground and try and thread it through the pack. Goo picks it off. Sits it wide for Denellen. Returns it. Former Valentine FC player lays it back for McNaughton now. Right, sliding in, tries to take it away. Waller running the overlap on the left here. Ball fed out for him. Can he get an early cross? No, he has to go back. Langlois tries to feed it in. Waller almost does well and then loses his footing. Topple Stanley prods it. Gets a return pass. Puts it in. Bond working it around. Nice tight passing. Waller crosses it into the box. Falls and pushed across the line, the byline that is, and that'll Finn in the end with a deflection. It'll be a corner.
It's a lovely passage of play there from the Jaffas. Really sharp one-touch football. There's Tommy Waller who, down the line there, just his cross into the path of Archie Finn, but the Jaffas certainly ramping up the pressure.
Now the shadow's starting to stretch across the field. Denellen will take the corner here. Topple Stanley inching his way into the box, just trying to sneak in unawares to the penalty spot. Driven to the front post. Jackson gets ahead to it, brought down. Cahill skims it off the outside of the boot. He's had 3 cracks at it. A little bit of a karate kick in the end. Pat Bond trying to protest. Unfortunately for the Maitland defender, I think he's worn at middle stump. We're going to have a couple of changes here.
Let's go! Hurry up! Collins, let's go! Isaac, let's go!
Does look like Garung and Cox to come on. Interesting to see Isaac Collins, the goal scorer, being replaced as well. But Hughes will be certainly looking for some of these substitutes to add a bit of spark, and Sean Pratt as well, the other one to come off.
As you say, Pratt and Collins off, Garung and Cox on. Cox will slot into the midfield. Garung's going to push up 4 with Crowley, is he? Crowley now, all of a sudden. Butchard pushing forward, cuts back against Topple Stanley, manages to maintain possession. Rafferty lofts it in, and he's going to be over the crossbar and land on the roof of the net. Sam Denellen ends up in the net himself. And Kennedy just asking a question of the referee then, I think, about the contact. Going to be a no rush here. They lead by 2 goals, and 13 minutes of this second half have trickled away. The Magpies might need to find something very soon, Harry.
Yeah, they need to find that second goal really quickly. Just need a bit of energy, a bit of spark about them that they've been missing, and hopefully that second goal from their point comes quickly. But they really need to look to involve Corelli more. He looked dangerous on that occasion there, but needs to be more involved in the game.
Farland gets a header for him, but it's going to go across the sideline. It'll be a throw in. As I said, it's just that connection, trying to find that connection rolling forward. Haven't created a lot of chances outside of that first goal. Garung just throwing himself up there. He's giving away about a foot in height to Langlois. Cox, Garung. The substitutes connect. He chips it forward again. The flag's good. It stays down. Rafferty's there. Going to try and thread it into the box, is he? No, plays it back out. And we get a throw in. It came off the legs from Lambton. Now crossed into the box, looking for Butchard. He couldn't get over Topple Stanley, though. Barutsky chips it forward. I don't think he really had any runners, and Ben Kennedy happy just to trap the ball on the boot and take his time. Kennedy goes long. So he might have really stretched out that 8 seconds there, and I heard a similar comment coming from the bench at Maitland. Now Garung, a little touch back inside. Danellan and he both lose their footing. Garung gets back to his feet, slices between 2 defenders and sets McFarlane free. McFarlane driving it out in front of Rafferty. He has to turn back for it. Misstep with the step over it, and he's not going to be able to track it. But more promising signs from Maitland with the new changes on and the fresh legs.
Yeah, they've looked better since those substitutions have taken place. That's what Adam Hughes will be looking to with those substitutions, adding a bit of spark. I think I've used that word a few times, Chris, but just really need to find some creation in that final third.
Rutsky and Finn coming together. That looks like a little bit of a rivalry developing. Goo shoulders it down and volleys it overhead. Jackson's there. He gets underneath it. Doesn't clear it far, but he clears it high. And the Ilky Bar kid snatches it away. Manages to retain possession. Lofts it out in front of Cahill. Racing forward. Edge of that 18-yard box, and Lennon steals it away. Garung now. Little pinball Aslan Garung. Bouncing through traffic. Now they feed it out in front of him. A little too heavy. Riley McNaughton sends it back the other way. Almost onto the hill. His shadows drop down. We're having a rapid change in the temperature here, Harry. It's certainly cooling right down at Arthur Eden.
Certainly is.
And they push forward. Cox with an opportunity. Slice it into the box and riven away. Tom Waller's almost put that into the Waller drain.
Yeah, you're certainly right what you were saying earlier, Chris. They've certainly upped the pressure in these last few minutes, Maitland, and at the right time as well. Obviously just over the hour mark now, but...
Corner now. Numbers getting directed into the box by Maitland. 2 hands aloft from the corner taker. Drop short. Cox gets a prod on it. Oh, Ben Kennedy, did that go over the line? No, it didn't. The assistant referee in perfect position, waves it away. A little bit of excitement from the Maitland Magpies. Looks more promising. Lambton under siege. Momentum starting to pull back, but they've still got that 2-goal lead. I know they need to just manage this game, control it, but they can't sit on their heels. Jordan Jackson, well, he's taken AFL pack mark then. Has been Garung, Cox, back to Garung. Here's Cox around the outside. Garung working in tight quarters. Feeds it forward. Rafferty has to chest it down. Bond muscling against him. Rafferty still going well. Dragged to ground, is he? No, play on, says referee. Two of them colliding. I think Pat Bond ended up coming off second best. Now it's pushed forward. Cahill racing. Lennon there as well. Lennon gets it underneath. Manages to maintain the ball as well. Well done, Jordan Lennon.
Yeah, massive play there from Jordan Lennon.
Garung brings it down nicely in front of Rafferty. That's a nice ball. Oh, Rafferty. He's tripped over the ball and been sniped. Maitland appealing for something, but he just tripped over the football.
Certainly what it looked like from here.
Yeah, that or he's sniped by someone from the hill. I'm not quite sure which it was. Braden Crowley going into the book. I'm not sure. I don't know whether Braden Crowley completely missed it, but I'll tell you what, if he keeps going, he might find himself sitting down here, the Maitland captain.
Certainly looked like from here he just tripped over his own feet.
He just got caught on the ball. The ball plugged in the ground, I think, and that's the challenge of the uneven surface here at the moment, and the challenge of a lot of the surfaces we're playing on. We're going to see Tenchevsky go to his bench and make some changes. You see Riley Taylor and Carter Smith come on. A couple of attacking options, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's possibly Finn and Griffiths who depart, especially Archie Finn, I think already in the book, if I'm right. You don't want him playing with that on that yellow card, but yeah, interesting. 2 attacking substitutions being up 3-1.
As you say, it might just be a matter of just icing some key players. Finn looking like he's cramping at the moment, so he'd be your lead suspect. I think it'll be interesting to see when Adam Hughes goes back to his bench. He's having a bit of a chat with Rutsky and Lennon at the moment, his centre backs. News is that Rafferty's back to his feet and seems to be walking reasonably well, which is good. I'll never want to see a player injured, especially in something as bizarre as a caught up over the football. To review the security footage to find the sniper on the hill, Harry, I think.
Yeah, Butchie, stay last line. Baritsky, you get it. Baritsky, you get it.
I think this period now is really crucial for Maitland. You can see both benches quite active, but I think this is Maitland's game. They need to take advantage and grab that second goal quickly as possible. Showed signs in this second half, especially there was a little patch there for maybe 2 to 5 minutes where they were dictating play, but just need to be more consistent and more creative, and like I've mentioned all day, get Crowley involved.
See what they can conjure here. Headed forward here, goes through. Can he get a shot on goal? Pulls it back. Takes a strike. Oh, tipped onto the crossbar. Taylor Pate take a bow. Just got a fingertip to it and did enough to get it up onto the crossbar and over. That would have been curtains, I think, had that gone in. It remains 3-1 and Lambton now with a corner. And we're going to have a double change at the corner. It will be Carter Smith and Riley Taylor coming on. Lockie Griffiths. Lockie Griffiths and Archie Finn coming off. After the corner, we're told. Next stoppage. I know he's saying they're going to go off at the byline. Right, there we go. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Away we go. Transmissions can resume. This is interesting. Got a couple of blokes running at 100 miles an hour into a pack here for the set piece. Although, no, they're all going to sit back. We've got a wall of yellow defenders sitting, yellow attackers, sorry, sitting deep in the box. McHale sneaking in. Top of Stanley keeping the pressure around the keeper.
Number 19, Carter Smith. And number 14.
Referee just saying, no, we'll retake that. We can't take that while your two teammates are standing there around you.
Number 10.
I've been really impressed with Sammy Dillon's dead ball deliveries as well. Been really dangerous. Interesting to see what he conjures up here.
Here he is now, Denellen, having a little chat with the crowd while he's there. Just giving the punters a little bit of extra value for their entry fee. There's the back post, Riley McNaughton. He's been sniping now. He's slid over. There's snipers everywhere. Joey Langlois intercepted. Hayden Rafferty, what about that? Snatches it away, puts it out in front of Crowley. Is he gonna be able to track it down? I think he will track it down just inside the sideline, but probably a little heavier than he would have liked. Feeds it in. McFarlane works it now. Butchard, he's dispossessed. Matt Cahill spins, takes it away. Garung breaks it up and steals the ball. Crowley lays it off. Butchard tries to put it back into Crowley. He's not really happy with the delivery there, and understandably so. And Tom Waller hoofs it long.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see how the Jaffas are playing now, those substitutions that took place. We mentioned, Chris, it was interesting that they brought 2 attackers on. I think we can see Matty Cahill out on the left here now, but some surprising substitutions there from the Jaffas.
Yeah, well, Carter Smith has gone straight to the head of attack. Direct switch for Archie Finn, which makes sense. So Tommy Waller now out here. Sorry, Matt Cahill out here in front of Tommy Waller, sorry. Butchard does well, though. Gets past them. Rafferty crosses it to the back post. A little heavy in the end. Power O'Toole tracking back.
Jacko, counter cover! Jacko, get there!
Jordan Goo does well to block that. Power O'Toole comes away with it again. Goo fighting to the nail. Power O'Toole slides in. Cox gets ahead to it. Jackson chips it forward, I think optimistically more than by design. And Ben Kennedy's just happy to trap it on the boot. Garung will wander forward and force him to pick it up and take it to hand. Kennedy taking up all of his allotted time there before he sends it long. Headed on by Smith. Taylor's there. He's going to pull it up just inside the byline. No, he's not. Beating him over the byline. It'll be a goal kick. Just over 20 minutes remaining here. Maitland need to find something and find it soon. The season ticking away. Pate drives it long, gets underneath it, and goes over halfway. McNaughton slips in front of Garung, heads it forward. All red there, Taylor. Working down the line. Power O'Toole harassing and haranguing. Last touch off Taylor. Taylor trying to take the throw, but the referee having to correct him there and say, no. Last touch was off you, Riley. You can see some of the crowd just drifting around from this western side, Harry, just trying to chase the last of the sun on this afternoon, especially when you look at the forecast for the next week. The East Coast low that's scheduled to come. It's going to be interesting to see how we go.
Yeah, you want to get the last bit of sun that presents itself, because it has been one of the more hotter days. But
it's been nice. It's, as I said, a little preview of spring. Hopefully we can get the last of this rain out of our system this week, and then some sunshine will bathe the remainder of our final series. But I don't hold high hopes after the season we've had. We've had a bit of everything this season in the weather department. Some excessively hot days with the February start, into some wet, into some lightning, into some hail. When I say some rain, it's been a lot of rain, a lot of reschedulements. We've done really well to get to this point, I think, and we've gotten all the senior fixtures going ahead. Lots of busy times, a busy schedule for a lot of teams. The numbers trickling down now. There'll be another club saying goodbye to their NPL season at the end of today. Now, pushing forward, Taylor on the ball. Tries to get it out in front of Carter Smith. He's absolutely kicked the cover off that one.
yeah, not what Taylor was hoping for there. It's been really good for the Jaffas this season, Riley Taylor. A role that has mainly featured off the bench, but certainly if he has had to come on, he's made a difference and bagged a few goals to his name.
As Lenoir lofts it forward. Smith up over Jackson. They both end up on the ground. Back to their feet now. Butchard into McFarlane. See what McFarlane's been a great pickup for Maitland this season. Smith puts it wide. Denellen. He's going to take a strike. He will. Pate down to it though. Lots of positivity coming from the Lambton bench. Now we're looking like we're going to have some more changes for Maitland. Bond comes away. This one, Taylor puts on the pace. Racing down the right. Realises space is closed off, so ball's back.
Done really well there, Taylor.
Certainly has maintained possession. Tried to thread the needle for Lenoir, and it's picked off by Cox. Power O'Toole feeds it into the middle. Rafferty on a nice turn. Just gets a little nudge from Lenoir. Not a lot in it, but it was a foul nonetheless. Jackson. Lambton is calling for their team to try and slow it down, manage the clock. Maitland air swing from Rafferty. McNaughton will come forward and take it away. Waller cuts back in. Now Lenoir. Back to Topple Stanley. Cahill pushing forward. Smith almost came away with it. Barutsky takes it though. Cox dispossessed by Lenoir. Cahill pushing across field, looking for options. Has to pop it back to Denellen. We never had someone so excited about a back pass as David Tanchevsky right now. Understandably so, Harry. 2-goal lead, just over 15 minutes of regulation time remaining. From them booking a date with the loser of Western and Edgeworth next week.
Yeah, especially considering where they were at the start of the season. It's a massive confidence boost for the Jaffas. And like you mentioned earlier in the call, Chris, they're starting to score goals now, which they really struggled with at the start of the season.
They certainly did. They've really found that. But that little passage of play there probably summed up Maitland's day. Connor Butchard trying to play the long through ball and drove it straight into Hayden Rafferty and spun out over the sideline. This hasn't been Maitland's day thus far, but there's still time for a couple of twists in the tail here. Long throw from Waller. Goo with an aerial attack. Now Lenoir comes forward. Farland. Goo comes away with it. Pushed out by Bond. Smith. It's it off the outside of the boot. Almost found some space, but Pate read it well, and they go straight away on the counter here. Nice step over by Power O'Toole, and now they're pushing forward with Lennon. Woodchard's wide and free here. Rafferty under pressure. Garang goes back. Power O'Toole slices infield. Beats one, beats two. Can't beat the third. Langlois with the block, and it spins away. And Kennedy came out to it, but Dunellan's there in the end. Might have been able to catch the keeper in no man's land if they could figure something there. Jackson. Trainer getting ready to come on. Charlie Cox lofts it down. McNaughton there again, as he has been all day.
Pressure on the ball! Downs, pressure on the ball!
Lambton playing with it at well.
Good day, hey! Yeah, ref, let's go.
Trainer will come on. We'll just work out who the sub's coming for. Butchard it is. Formerly Azuri and Valentine. He spends the time at the Jets as well. 8 times cap for Samoa, Harry. Not bad to have that coming off your bench.
Yeah, not bad. And he'll be looking to add a bit of energy down this right-hand flank.
Certainly will. Top of Stanley just manhandling Braden Crowley there. Clear difference in power and size. Cahill cuts back infield. Jackson almost takes it away. Strike taken from Matt Cahill, and even if he's playing AFL, he wouldn't have got any points for that.
Connor Butchard. And substitution for Maitland FC. Coming on the pitch, number 35.
All pushing forward. Arrow Tool back in for Lennon. Lennon pushing forward. Smith trying to chase. Lennon just slices through the midfield. Then he turns the pass, but Langlois tracks back.
Great tracking back there from Langlois, especially in these late stages of the game. What I'm noticing with the Jaffas is they still seem energetic, Chris. They still seem, you know, really a side that you still got the tank in them to go for this 90 minutes, and that's something that has helped them in this back end of the season, their fitness.
Certainly has, yeah. They've come in their own, and again, having a squad that's essentially got to all but, you know, full strength. I think realistically, with the absence of Bailey Newton in the US and Matt Button, who's been out for the season, otherwise, as far as I'm aware, I think that means everyone else is on deck. I know they had a couple of other players depart mid-season, but realistically, from what they've got in terms of on the books at the moment, they would be the only two that aren't in action.
Yeah, most certainly. And I think they've also had a lot of depth throughout the season as well that have had players to rely on off the bench.
Certainly have. Barutsky now with a throw, going long into the box. Top of Stanley there. No real large targets for them. Goo comes and takes it away. Just prods it down the line. That's a smart play. Nice work there from Cahill, just playing back inside. Rafferty blocks it. Cox is there. Rafferty comes away with it. Wow, just holds his ground. That was strong. Bond now drives it forward out in front of Taylor. He's got acres of space. Threads it in along the ground, but it goes behind everyone. Carter Smith had overrun it. Would have been in danger if Smith could find that at the back post. It might have been 4-1 in the blink of an eye. Now Langlois pops it into the box again. Broken up by Lennon. Barutsky sends it towards halfway top of Stanley. Rafferty goes to ground. Bond. Chipped forward, no runners though for Langlois, and that little passage of play again. Just out-muscled and outplayed the Magpies. Cahill gets a little deflection on that. All of a sudden, Tom Waller absolutely rockets along. Crosses it into the box. Cahill goes backwards. Langlois pushes it forward. Spills. Smith has a shot. Langlois there. He thinks about another shot. Trapped under the legs. Now it's cleared. Jordan Goo rockets in there. Body's in motion. And then a little clip. Waller does get him. I don't think there's a lot in it. Tom Waller. So it's definitely a foul.
Tommy Waller, he's done so much work down this left-hand flank. Looks buggered now, but he's covered a lot of metres in this game.
Substitute Charlie Cox. We've got a bit of push and shove here. Riley Taylor. Jordan Jackson finds himself amongst it for the second week in a row.
Certainly a bit of a rivalry between these two sides this year, Chris. Obviously, the Old Boys Day at Cook Square Park early in the year, there was a dramatic finish to that. Then the game here last week.
Yeah, I think the finish earlier in the year, the drama wasn't so much in the two teams coming together. It was just the finish of the game. But it looks like Cox is going to be carried off. That's not a great sign. While last week, obviously, it was some heated emotion. And I think that, that microcosm of playing each other twice in two big games back-to-back, essentially. I know they played Bell Swans during the week, Maitland, but just add some, I guess some intensity to, when you play back-to-back a couple of times, you start to get some momentum, and especially, the memories don't have to be too long to think back to last week and, if someone wronged someone else or it was viewed that way, etc. So it looks like we're going to have a double change here. Jordan Jackson will actually be one of those men to make way alongside Cox. That's Smale. Ethan Vidler.
Why aren't you ready, Biggin? Well, only just got out.
It's been Grant, sorry.
Tell him to stay up there, Benny. Smale, need you to step in and help back in there.
Now, last chance saloon for the Magpies. Season on the line. Less than 9 minutes remain on the clock, and then it'll be added time.
Benny, you can go.
Smale and Grant, can they be the lightning rods to spark something here for Maitland? If a goal could be scored in the next couple of minutes, Harry, it's certainly live in the finish. You feel as the clock ticks down, if there's no goals, then it may finish with a bit of a damp squib.
Yeah, if Maitland are to get pull a goal back, it'll set up a huge grandstand finish.
Smale does well there to outmuscle Cahill. Langlois. Hayden Rafferty's been absolutely battered from pillar to post today. Carter Smith up against Bruitsky. Another light Goo, the man that he tried to pass it to, but it landed for Cahill. Goo now on the ball. That's a pretty ordinary challenge from Jordan Goo. He's probably lucky not to go into the book. It was unnecessary. I'll tell you what, if you're a Lambton Jaffa right now, Harry, the last thing you want to be doing, after we talked about it before, where 2 yellow cards accrue a suspension, it's not going to take much if you get one now to get another one maybe next week. And if they were to say, get over Edgeworth or Western next week, they then go into a do-or-die preliminary final, and you're out of action, a key player potentially out of action, the likes of Jordan Goo. That's the last thing they want. They've already picked up 4 or 5 players with yellow cards today. Smale crosses it to Grant, his fellow substitute. Now it goes forward. Power O'Toole out in front of Rafferty. Riley McNaughton's going to get there first.
Coming on the pitch, number 30, Matthew Smale. Coming off the pitch, number 13.
Now Goo ranging forward, gets it out in front of Matt Cahill. He props a step to take it. Looking for the icing here. Puts it through the legs of Bruitsky. Now the ball pushes along. It beats Trainer. Carter Smith brings it down. Now there's Trainer again. Bruitsky into the back of Goo, who blocks it. Cahill's going to get forward for it. Brings it down. Goo puts it forward. A nice run for Langlois here into the 18-yard box. Prods it in. Taylor's there. Can he get a shot away? Broken up. Turns, gets it away on the left. Can't get it on target. Smith can't control it, and Trainer comes away. Maitland still live to fight on in this fixture. The desperation from both sides. They know a goal either way is going to very much change the complexion of this game with just over 6 minutes remaining of regulation time. And the stoppages we've had, you'd have to think there'll be at least maybe 4 minutes of stoppage time at this point, Harry, as we see Lambton go to their bench.
Yeah, you wouldn't be looking at anything probably further than 4 minutes.
Oscar Kraken thought to come on. Jordan Goo will be relieved of his duties. One young gun for another.
Yeah, really impressive again today, Jordan Goo. Player who's really transitioned and settled in well to this Jaffas side. Another huge shift by him today.
Substitution for your Lambton Jaffas. Coming on the pitch, number 12, Oscar Krakenthorpe. pitch, number 25, Jordan Koo.
Headed forward, McNaughton for himself to his own advantage. He plays it out in front of Taylor. Taylor looking at the outside of Grant, but Grant takes it away and has pushed it across the line. Clock ticks down here at Arthur Eden in the elimination final. 5 minutes of regulation time remaining. It's all on the line for Maitland FC. Remembering they played Wednesday night to scrape into today's elimination final with that draw against Bell Swans. Plenty on the line. They push forward here now. Trainer out in front of Rafferty. Rafferty cuts back though because he sees yellow jerseys everywhere. Feeds it in. McFarlane. What can Crowley create? Can he make the run, be the present? Rafferty loses his footing, just slips over. The surface started to deteriorate here. Langlois. Lennon does well. Cahill does well. Now overhit by Bond, and it'll go all the way to Taylor Pate. Time fast running out, Harry, for this side in black and white. Unfortunately, you're going to need to conjure something major here in a very minor amount of time.
Yeah, they are. They're going to have to try and create something out of nothing. They haven't had huge chances in this second half, Chris, but still time on the clock for them to get that second and then hopefully a bit of luck from there.
Yeah, they're going to need to find it soon. Lambton happy to play it down at the other end of the field, though. It's been physical. There's been a lot of players slipping and sliding with the surface deteriorating bit by bit. Of course, this is the last game that we will see for the season on Arthur Eden Oval. I'll be on the road from here for the Jaffas if they get it done today. Norton, not quite sure what he thought he was doing there. Well, he was trying to climb the back of the opposition player as he put the ball forward in front of himself, hoping to get a refereeing decision. Denellen, nice little turn away. He's been busy. Taylor trying to turn it back inside for himself, just over touches. Back for Pate. Doesn't get as much of that as he might have liked. The purchase doesn't send it long. Langlois. Barutsky sends it deep. Topple Stanley sends it back. Cahill feeds it in and Barutsky sends it back the other way. It's caught in a midfield exchange as the time ticks down. Maitland, the time is now. Smale plays it to his own advantage, beats a couple, pushes forward, pops out. Braden Crowley, there was a moment of a glimpse there. Topple Stanley steps in though. Rafferty crosses it into the box. Topple Stanley's there again. Power O'Toole, Kennedy saves it. And Sam Denellen clears it away. They're not done yet, Maitland. Numbers pushing forward here, Harry. They're trying to get as many as they can. Grant going up, Gurung staying. Gurung instructed to stay up.
And they love to pull a goal back here, Chris.
Be something. It'll certainly liven this up. Under 2 minutes of regulation time. I feel it all might swing on this. Lofted in, left short. Crowley tries to get a touch on it, just over. And it'll be another corner. Deflected off the defender there in the end. Might have been Cahill at the front post. No waste of time here from Maitland. They're ready to go again. They probably want a little bit more on this one. They do get it floated up. This is dangerous. Beats everyone, though. Beats the whole pack. Kennedy's on the ground, as is McFarlane. And it'll be a goal kick, and Lambton will be in absolutely no hurry to get this moving.
Yeah, they'll be very excited that they saw out that situation because we know Maitland can be dangerous from the dead ball. Could that have been the last chance for the Magpies?
Down to the last minute of regulation time. Kennedy using all his experience to milk the clock here. He'll reset the ball, make sure he's happy with it. And you feel that Lambton might have just done enough. Fat Lady will be warming up, getting ready to sing here for the Jaffas on their home turf. That is a very ordinary challenge from Matt Smale, and he'll go into the book, but he knows that they've got to pull together almost everything. A few challenges I think you could describe as unnecessary today, Harry.
Yeah, in both halves as well. I think we've seen it both halves some uncalled for challenges going in.
Interesting here, just working out what's going on. There we go. McNaughton's up with Langlois here. Well, can he take a strike from distance, McNaughton, and ice this game? Antonellan just popping back. No, Riley McNaughton said to Joey Langlois, I'll leave it to you. He's had the 4 minutes of additional time. Push wide. Cahill heads it in. McFarlane's there. Bond gets over it, doesn't get enough of it, just drives it into the ground, and immediately they go forward. Maitland, they know that it's last chance saloon here, their season on the line. They've done admirably to claw their way from the lower rungs of the ladder early in the season and make their way into finals.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes of added time.
Might all be for nothing here. Foul called on Trainer. Time ticking away. Clock in the favour of the home side, the Lambton Jaffas. They look to march on to week 2 of finals football and a date with either Western Bears or Edgeworth Eagles in another sudden death game. Kennedy will drive long and want to play it as far down the other end as they can. Taylor Pate gets on it early. He knows they've got to get moving. He's glancing around, indecision, can't work out where he needs to go. And he just decides he's going to drive it long and high. Topple Stanley gets forward to it. Cahill. Barutsky gets it. McFarlane lays it wide. No Maitland jerseys there that all push forward. And now Krakenthorpe ranges down the right flank into the sunshine. Grant trying to come away with it. Does come away with it. Bond steps in. Pushes it long. Krakenthorpe gets there and gets a touch on it, but it's turned over. Ball tapped wide, looking for Gurung, and Denellen is happy to push it across the sideline.
Go right up. Britsky, go. Britsky, push on.
Can they find some consolation here, Maitland, or will Lambton maintain the 2-goal lead? That is the question now. I feel it might be a bridge too far to find 2, Harry.
Yeah, I'd certainly think so now. I think they need to start that second half with more intent. The Magpies, but yeah, I think.
It's been a gallant display though. Very low on the ladder early in the season. Pushing forward, Smith here to ice it, but the flag goes up. Taylor Pate did well. Barutsky running it for. Is he going to run the length? Bit of rugby league. Taylor Pate. A little bit of hesitation, ball goes wide, beats everyone across the line. Again, Lambton will walk to this, they won't rush. Waller with the throw. Goes long, looking for Cahill. Smith, Rafferty comes away. Headed forward, Grant. Denellen, Krakenthorpe pushing hard. Plays it wide now. Can they ice it here? Taylor takes a strike and Grant slides in. It'll be a corner. But this might be the last of it. Time ticks right on down. Lambton 1 foot into week 2 of the finals.
Come back in. Mark up. Here we are. In the middle.
Lambton is happy to play it into the corner and chew the clock down here. Taylor is trying to shepherd the ball. Got a foul going the way of Lambton.
Yeah, the Jaffas
Sale needs to be careful. They're already in the book. I mean, it'll carry over to next year as it stands.
Jaffas playing it cool here in the corner, exactly where they want the ball.
Managing that clock. They go now to Langlois. He gets a little turn on. Plays it. Attempts to play towards goal, but misses the target. It'll be a goal kick. Not long left now before Lambton will celebrate. Maitland will regroup and look to next season, unfortunately, for the Magpies. Both these sides look well out of finals contention. after the first 6 or 7 rounds. People were starting to question if they were finals contenders. They've shown over the run home they certainly are. It's been a good showing across the back half of the season for both these clubs. Unfortunately, one of them can go on to next week, and that will be the Jaffas. The Jaffas keep on rolling. 6 wins from 7, unbeaten in 2 months, and now they've marched into week 2 of finals football. David Tanchevsky's rebuild has turned into a resurgence, and Lambton look every bit of side capable of going even deeper into this final series. Harry, they now lie in wait for the loser of tomorrow night's clash between Western and Edgeworth.
Yeah, they certainly do, and it was a great performance today from the Jaffas. Did what they had to, and also some really well-taken goals from the Jaffas as well. And I think it's sort of a reflection of where the Jaffas have been these last few weeks. They've really lifted spirits in this back end of the season. Like you mentioned, Chris, they were out of contention at the start of the year, but they've certainly built a form and at the right time as well. So huge for them, huge for Tanchevsky, and yeah, they'll have all eyes on tomorrow night.
They certainly will be watching tomorrow night, but here today it was the Jaffas running out 3-1, winners over Maitland FC in the elimination final. Maitland got out of the blocks at fast as they scored the opener through Isaac Collins. A quick response from range to that man Tommy Waller, who's everywhere today. And then it was Pat Bond, another long-range effort to extend their lead in the first half before Archie Finn got on the score sheet midway through the second. And the Jaffas march on into week 2 of the finals. Big thank you for joining us this afternoon. Remember, you can catch the first leg of the playoff relegation semi-final from 5 p.m. today between West Wallsend and Toronto Awaba, live and free on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel. And all of the big matches from here in the men's, the women's, and the promotion relegation playoffs. So that's the NPL, first and reserve grade, all live and free